Hi everyone, today we are going to look at word problems involving 4 operations. We are learning how to solve 1 and 2 step word problems involving 4 operations, which is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We will be learning how to use the Polia's problem solving strategies, which is understanding the word problem. We plan, we carried out the solution, and we checked. What do I mean by understanding the word problem? Which means we have to read carefully so that we can understand what the problem is asking us to do. When we plan the word problem, we are looking at strategies, example, drawing of models to help us see and visualize the word problem. Next, we carried out the solution by showing the method and the steps and writing the mathematical sentence. Lastly, we check for accuracy and check that our answer is reasonable through working backwards. Are we ready? Let's look at question 1. Steve has 273 stickers. Joshua has twice as many stickers as Steve. How many stickers has Joshua? How many stickers do they have altogether? Here I know that there are 2 persons, Steve and Joshua. And I know that Steve has 273 stickers. How about Joshua? Joshua has twice as many stickers as Steve. What do I mean by twice? Yes, twice means he has 2 times as many stickers as Steve. So Joshua has twice, which is 2 times as many stickers as Steve. Who has more? Is it Steve or Joshua? In this question, the question is asking us to compare. And we need to find how many stickers has Joshua and how many stickers do they have altogether. Now, after we have understood, let's plan. We plan this question by drawing models because the word problem tells us that Joshua has twice as many stickers as Steve, which means it requires us to compare. So I have Steve and Joshua, and I know that Steve has 273 stickers. Joshua has 2 times as many stickers as Steve. So 1 time, 2 times. I know this is 273. This is 273. I want to find, first of all, Joshua. How many stickers has Joshua? So I know Joshua is 2 times 273, which is 546. So Joshua has 546 stickers. How many stickers do they have altogether? So I want to find the total. To find total, I can find 273 plus my Joshua, which is 546. And the answer is 819. So they have 819 stickers altogether. There is an alternative solution, which means I know that Steve is 1 unit, which is 273. Joshua has 1 unit, 2 units. So 2 units of Joshua would be 273 times 2, which gives me 546. If I want to find all together, I know that I have 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units. So 3 units will be, 1 unit is 273, 3 units will be 273 times 3, which gives me 819. So they have 819 stickers altogether. How do we check that our answer is correct? I know that I can take 819, I minus off Steve. If I minus off Steve, which is 273, I would have 546. See, I know that Joshua is 546, right? So I know that if I take 546, if I divide by 2 units, divide by 2, I will get back my 273. So this is how I check that my answer is correct. Let's look at question 2. Mrs. Jones baked 793 muffins. She gave 148 muffins to her neighbors. She packed the remaining muffins equally into 5 boxes. How many muffins were there in each box? So first, I know that we have Mrs. Jones, and she baked 793 muffins. So I have 793 muffins here all together. She gave 148 muffins to her neighbors. So first, she gave 148 muffins away to the neighbors. And then, she packed the remaining muffins equally into 5 boxes. So he will pack into 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 boxes. And we want to find how many muffins are there in each box. And we know that each box would have the same number of muffins. Let's plan our solution. So first, I know that I have Mrs. Jones has 793 muffins. What did she do first? Yes, she gave to her neighbors 148 muffins. So she gave away to the neighbors 148. And what are these? This will be my remainder. So my remainder is 793 minus my 148, which is 645. What did she do with the remainder? She packed them equally into 5 boxes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So I take 645 divide by 5, which will give me 129. So there are 129 muffins in each box. Let's look at an alternative solution. After I find my remainder, which is 645, I know there are 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I put 5 units is my 645 muffins. 1 unit will be 645 divided by 5, which gives me 129. And there are 129 muffins in each box. Let's check and see whether our answers is correct. I have 129 in each box. So I take 129 times 5. I would get 645. I take 645, I add to the muffins that Mrs. Jones gave away, plus 148, I will get 793. So this is how I check that my answer is correct. Question 3. Benjamin bought some cookies. He packed them into 36 jars of 7 cookies each. He then had 9 cookies left. How many cookies did he buy? So now I know that this is Benjamin. He bought some cookies. Do you know how many cookies did he buy? No, he doesn't know. We don't know how many cookies did he buy. But from the cookies that he bought, he have 36 jars. And he put 7 cookies in each jar. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jars, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can draw all the jars and I would have 36 jars. And in each jar, there are 7 cookies. She put 7 cookies in each jar. He then had 9 cookies left. So he had 9 cookies left here. So how many cookies did he buy? Right? So let's draw our model to help us solve this. So I know that this is the cookies that Benjamin bought. We don't know how many cookies. He packed them into 36 jars of 7 cookies each. So I have 36 jars. I either draw 36 jars or I use broken model. I can draw 1 jar, 2 jar, and I put dot, 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 okay, and end off with the jars. Total 36 jars. Each jar has 7 cookies. So first, I want to find how many cookies are there in this 36 jars. So I take 36 multiplied by 7, right? Okay, here I also learned that he had 9 cookies left. So he left 9 cookies. So I take 36 multiplied by 7. I have 252 cookies in the 36 jars. So 252 cookies. Alright, 1 unit is my 7. 36 units, which is 36 jar, will be 36 times 7, which is 252. I want to find how many did he buy. You take 252, you must add the 9 that he has left. So altogether, he bought 261 cookies. How do we check our answers? I know that altogether, I have 261. I minus off my 9 cookies. I will get 252. I take 252, I divide by 7 cookies in each jar, I will get 36 cookies. 36 jars, sorry. Right? So this is how I check my answers. Let's look at question 4. Andy, Bryan, and Susan had 220 sweets. Andy had twice, which is 2 times as many sweets as Bryan. Susan had 40 sweets. How many sweets did Bryan have? So I know I have 3 persons, Andy, Bryan, and Susan. All together, they have 220 sweets. Andy has twice as many as Bryan. So Bryan would have half as many as Andy. And we know that Susan has 40 sweets. So we want to find how many sweets does Bryan have. Right, let us draw our model to help us solve. I know I have 3 persons, right? We have Andy, Bryan, and Susan. And they have 220 sweets all together. So I put 220 sweets here. Andy had twice as many as Bryan. So Andy has 2 units. Bryan has 1. And we know that Susan has 40 sweets. So first, let's find Andy and Bryan. So Bryan and Andy would have 220 minus the 40 sweets, which is 180. So this 180 is divided by 3. So Bryan would have 30 sweets. Let's look at the units and see whether we have why we get 3 units. We know that Andy is 2 units, right? This is 1 unit, 1 unit. Bryan has 1 unit. So Andy is 2 times Bryan. So when we take 220 sweets minus off the 40 sweets, I would have 180 sweets. So 3 units is 180 sweets. 1 unit will be 180 divided by 3, which gives me 60 sweets. So Bryan has 60 sweets. Let's check and see if our answer is correct. So if I have Bryan, which is 60 sweets, Andy, so Bryan, 60 sweets, Andy will be 60 times 2, which is 120 sweets. And I know that Susan is 40 sweets. So altogether, I would have 60 plus 120 plus 40. So 60 plus 120 plus 40 will give me 220 sweets, which is what they have all together. Right, children, today we learned to solve 1 and 2 steps word problem involving 4 operations. We have used addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We use the Polya's problem solving strategies. First, we understand by reading the question, the word problem carefully, underline keywords. Next, we plan by drawing models to help us see. And next, we carry out the solution by showing the method clearly. And lastly, we check for accuracy and precision by working backwards. I hope they have learned how to solve word problems involving 4 operations. Goodbye.